Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Fisherfolk met with government officials Tuesday to fully ventilate issues surrounding the 7-day ban on fishing. The former president of the Gros Islet Fishermen's Cooperative says the meeting was successful and by Thursday, fishermen should be going back to sea. Genevieve Gonzague reports.
Representatives for fisherfolk throughout St. Lucia met with government officials on Tuesday to discuss the ramifications of the 7-day ban that has been issued to fishermen. While the government has indicated that such a measure was needed in order to curb illegal entries on the island, fishermen have argued that this sudden move was ill-advised. Former president of the Gros Islet Fishermen Cooperative, Ricky McDoom, says while this meeting should have taken place before any decision was made, the outcome will be accepted.
Our whole intention, really, is to get the fishers back to work. And we are happy that we were able to at least reach some consensus with the authority to be able to get us back in operation by Thursday.
Fishermen for a long time say their voices have not been heard and their trade disrespected. McDoom says there are many other issues confronting fishers and they are looking forward to another meeting in order to iron out these issues.
And we are looking forward to another meeting where we can discuss the issue of the fuel rebate, the issue of the tax on fuel, the issue of the environment and the way we do things inland that has negative impact on the coastline and the coral reef, the mangrove, etc. Also pension for fishers. We also need to discuss a public-private initiative that would deal with the Fish Market Corporation because we are not happy the way the situation was dealt with.
He says while the narrative of fishermen participating in rogue behaviors during the pandemic is being pushed, there is no concrete evidence that it is registered fisherfolk.
The police and the government must be more serious in terms of dealing with those people rather than carte blanche punishing everybody. That's how we felt. Now, we have accepted the apologies that the Prime Minister and the Minister has issued in respect to the manner in which the decision, the SI, was published. But again, we want to appeal to the bona fide fishers. And we have made a commitment that we are going to work together with the authorities, the Fisheries Department, the police, to help them with information that is going to curb any form of illicit activity.
McDoom says the fishing industry contributes hundreds of millions of dollars annually, and as such, decisions should not be taken on their behalf without their consultation. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzague.
Meanwhile, the operations manager of the Goodwill Fishermen's Cooperative in Viewfort, Kejiana Toussaint Shawri, has stressed that there is no bad blood between the association and the government of St. Lucia.
I must say, let me say from the onset that there is no bad blood between the fisherfolk and the authority. Our concern when we got the information on Friday was that there was no consultation, and we felt that was the pricking point there. We had in April, like Minister Ezekiel noted, had a consultation where certain things were agreed to, and it was done amicably. All we were asking for is that when the protocols needed to be strengthened or changes needed to be made, that we could have gone back to this very grouping and discuss it.
Now, one day after the opposition St. Lucia Labour Party issued a statement blasting the Agriculture and Fisheries Minister Ezekiel Joseph for his role in the decision to suspend fishing licenses for a week, the minister says he will not pay attention to opposition criticisms as he believes that he acted in good faith, and he says he stands by his beliefs. Rochelle Gonzalez reports.
On Monday, the St. Lucia Labour Party released a press statement blasting Agriculture Minister Ezekiel Joseph, taking him to task over a government's decision to temporarily suspend commercial fishing. Joseph was chided for not standing up for fisherfolk and was branded a yes man to Prime Minister Alan Chasney for allowing him to make such a decision. On Tuesday, the minister was questioned on the statement and asked if he had anything to say in response. Joseph said he stands by his decision and that he does not owe an explanation to the opposition.
I'm not going to respond to what SLP is saying. I've not heard what SLP is saying, but if you would ask me what's my position on the decision, I will say I supported it. Okay, because the Prime Minister called me on Thursday informing me of the recommendation coming from the authority.
The minister went on to say that the opposition is seemingly at odds with themselves as they are unsure of what they want. For his part, he said he did make recommendations.
You all want us to, when it's convenient, to follow the direction of the authority. But when it's not convenient, we want us to renege on the decision of the authority. The authority made a recommendation to the Prime Minister that because of the challenges and the gaps as it pertains to the illegal trade, there is need for us to suspend the decision to allow fishermen to go out there, right?
1 week.
Okay. Yeah. PM called me on that. I said, PM, I remember speaking with the stakeholders in the industry, and I remembered early in the game, that was a gap that they had concerns about. Okay? It's hitting us right now. What I would agree before we implement the decision or the recommendation, we should have consultation with the respective cooperatives. That's what I told the Prime Minister.
He said he still supports the recommendation that was made by the authority. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Rochelle Gonzalez.
The Marine Unit of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force is calling on the public and fisherfolk to help them in their efforts to curtail illegal entries into St. Lucia. The Sergeant of Marine Police says now more than ever, all hands need to work together in order to win the battle against the spread of COVID-19. Genevieve Gonzague reports.
The issue of illicit activities being participated on the high seas have always been a hassle for authorities. Now with COVID-19, the latest battle has been trying to prevent illegal entries into the country from neighboring islands. Fishermen were issued a 7-day ban in order to mitigate the number of illegal entries into St. Lucia. On Tuesday, Sergeant of the Marine Police Unit, Peter Joseph, indicated that the team is willing to work with the fisherfolk and the public at large to curb the problem that they are currently facing.
It cannot be Marine Police versus COVID into St. Lucia. It has to be the nation. It has to be a national, we have to tackle it on a national front, all right? Marine Police, of course, we are trying to enlist all the help that we can get, including the help of the fishers.
He urged people with information that could help the unit curtail the number of illegal entries into the country to come forward and assured that all information will be received in confidentiality.
If they have any information, they can actually call 452-7463 or they can call 456-3990. They can call the minister. They can call my commander, Commander Leos, privately. If there is any mistrust that the information that they are giving will not be dealt with confidentially, they can call him at 285-8685. You can call the Commissioner of Police. You can call the DCP. I assure you that all that information given will be treated confidently.
Joseph says in this fight, any tip will be appreciated as it will assist in the eradicating of a much bigger problem. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzague.
Genevieve also took to the streets to find out how you feel about the 7-day license suspension that was imposed on fisherfolk. Here's what you had to say.
Prime Minister Alan Shastney on Friday announced that fishing licenses would be suspended for 7 days. Fisherfolk have not taken kindly to this announcement and have demanded a meeting with authorities. We took to the streets to find out your opinion on this situation with the fishermen.
I don't think it's reasonable because, okay, for instance, what about those people that had put out the nets already to catch the fish and stuff? So, well, basically I'm just saying, like, are they going to be compensated?
I don't think it is fair. It is unfair to block the fishermen. That is their livestock. And knowing everybody have an occupation, and that is their occupation, a way of life to provide for their families. They should have told them that, give them early notice.
Parce que à sous ça yo ka vivre madame yo yisho ek famille ek kayo ek pay bills yo. Ou pas just du bout yo pay lan mais ek ou pas ni pièce plan pour yo. Ça ou ka ba yo.
Youth seize their license just for 7 days. The fellas have the net in the sea, right? They have a pot in the sea. They have to go and see about the pot. Sometimes the fellas pot have fish in it. They can't go and take it out. So what are they going to eat? If the government is going to compensate them, no problem. But if they're not going to get nothing from the government already said the country is broke. So why making them this kind of mischief? This is mischief.
It's to me that is a yes and that is a no. Because especially when the government is supposed to measures in place, they have to take the right measurement. But we always want government come to us first and tell us what's going on, because you know everybody hungry, everybody sick for food. But to me it's a yes, no, because they know what's best for us. But it's true, it's 7 days, and I know the fishermen, they're hungry, they need to eat. All of us need to eat.
I don't think that's right to make the fellas keep away from the sea, because they're getting the daily bread. So when you do them that now, what are you going to do? That is wrong. So I don't think that's a good thing at all. Give the fellas a chance, man.
Those were your responses. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Janice Gonzalez.
Stay with us. Still to come, the NWU confirms that its members who were employed with LIAT have been served termination letters. A Bexar resident fears her home may be gone if authorities do not act swiftly to avert disaster. And the second wave of COVID-19 bursts the CARICOM bubble. That and more after the break.